welcome back, Hearts fans. Welcome back to another edition of From the Forest to the Tide. I'm Sean here with Charles and Rob, and we're doing something a little bit different towards the end of the year here, just before the holidays. We're kind of getting together and doing a little holiday edition from the Forest to the Tide. We will dip our toe into the soccer side of things and talk a little bit about Hearts football and maybe some rumors on the street with players and possibilities therefore. But we're also going to talk a little bit about, a little bit of holiday season and kind of a little bit of our day to day, little sneak behind, behind the curtain type deal and what we like to do in our day to day and places that we've been, things that we think might be worthwhile to throw out there to the group of, maybe something you might want to go experience for yourself, maybe something you haven't seen before, heard of before, and go, you know what? Charles was talking about something that sounded pretty cool. Maybe I do want to go take a look at that, and we'll go ahead and we'll spread that out to the Hearts community, and that's kind of a little bit about what we do here in the Dirigo Union, and trying to spread information, both soccer and day to day, holiday type stuff and whatever. It's all good information to spread, and that is certainly what we're going to attempt to do here today. Charles, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks, Sean. Yep, happy holidays to everybody. Um, Very excited. Holidays a big thing for me and my family because I got three kids, and it's definitely a way for me to relive Christmas. In my situation, we celebrate Christmas. Love reliving that magic through my children. So I've got a 16-year-old who still somehow I've been able to keep that alive. I mean, she doesn't believe in Santa and all that stuff, but very much still loves Christmas. And then my 10-year-old became a non-believer, I think maybe 2 years ago, and then my 8-year-old's right on the edge. So like Ellie the elf still
Yeah,
hides around. Like she was in
yeah.
the car yesterday. I buckled her in and we write notes every morning and stuff. And actually, my wife put her on the toilet the one day, and I turned on the light and I started using the bathroom, and then didn't even realize. So I looked down, and there's a big set of eyes looking right at me. It was the most awkward. I don't recommend putting Ellie the elf on the toilet.
Did,
Terrible
did you lock
decision.
eyes that whole time, Charles?
Oh,
Like,
we
how'd that
totally. Well, she makes this face too, like
go?
that's like, and I was, this is bizarre. This was like one of my top five bizarre moments as a father. So
You're,
anyway, but yeah,
you're
no,
like,
Christmas is a lot of fun. Super excited about it. And hope you guys, if you celebrate Christmas, have a wonderful Christmas too, and something else. Hope you have a good holiday too. What about you, Rob? Feeling festive?
I'm feeling festive. I got my hat out, found that today. So yeah, been doing a lot of gift wrapping. Been setting up the Christmas tree, got all that kind of going on. It kind of was nice. I was feeling really good. We had a ton of snow down here in Portland,
Mm-hmm.
so that was
Mm-hmm.
great. And then Friday we had that rain come in and it wiped it all out. So now it's just sad and depressing.
Did you guys lose power in that storm? Like we did. Our house didn't up here, but everybody in the area did.
I don't really lose power. I'm kind of lucky. I live right next to the mill, so I think because of that, my power lines are a bit stronger than
Mm-hmm.
anything else around us. But yeah, I heard a lot of Westbrook lost power, but I was lucky. I didn't lose anything. What about you
That's
guys?
good.
no,
Go ahead, Sean.
yeah. So we power wise, all is well down in the the sticks of Lebanon, Maine, where I'm located, and no flickers. Probably should knock on wood because
Mm.
that's kind of
Watch
a
it happen
rare,
during the podcast.
kind of
Mm.
a rarity, right? Right,
Beep.
exactly, right, yeah. But it kind of a rarity down in this area. So real lucky. I know they've done in the past 2 or 3 years. They have been doing a lot of cutbacks with trees from the power lines. I think that is now proving dividends for this local area. And
Mm.
I think we're seeing less and less of those power outages because of just that. So, yeah, snow also taking a beating in my area. Lots of rain, lots of fog the last couple of days, and that is definitely not what snow likes. So we got some, but there's certainly some spotty brown spots wherever you look. So,
It's all gone up here. I'm hoping we get a little bit more. Like, there's rumors of a dusting coming Christmas Eve. As
that'd
much
be
as we'd
nice.
like to have a white Christmas, and I think we should just move Christmas into February because there's always snow in February, and February is miserable. It's my least favorite month of the year. I'm like, can we just like make Christmas comes too early for the main winters? I think have gotten later. Like once
Mm.
Christmas is over, it's like so I feel like half of winter should be over, but the majority of it is still behind it. So I would like to move Christmas to February personally. That'd be great if I have a white Christmas and help me get through the month because I need to take a vacation in February is what I need to do. But then the hearts start to get what that reminds me actually. When would Rob? What would our Open Cup games? Because those will be our first games, right? Open Cup.
It's possible. We don't know the schedule yet. So that's something that'll be coming out next month. Typically that's
That's
when
what I
UF Soccer announces what the draw is and what the weeks are. Sean, I think you know the exact weeks. It's supposed to be, I
Yeah.
think, our first match and our
Yep.
first Open Cup game are slated for the same week, right?
Yep. Yeah,
Did we
you're
get that already?
yeah.
Am I just spacing on this?
Yeah, so we got the League One schedule, right? So we do have
No, I know
that.
that.
We don't
Yeah.
have the times, but we know the days and the ways and homes and all that fun stuff. We have that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when it comes to the Open Cup, we have a segmented time frame. We have like a week that we know we're going to have our first Open Cup
Okay.
match. To Rob's point,
I guess
and
I
that
guess I knew
first
that.
match is going to be in the week of St. Patrick's Day, and Chaz is
Nice.
joining.
Oh, cool. Oh,
Chaz,
great.
come on in, Chaz. Water's fine. We're in the middle of recording, but that's okay. We're
Was
working
our
with
first
it.
was our first Open Cup game against Filens last year? Was it March? God, it
Yeah.
feels
Yeah, it was March.
February
March,
to me. It was
Yes.
chilly.
So the
In
first
my head, which is completely wrong, it's just like February. Maybe it's because I think I did take a vacation in February and I barely made it back for that first match. That must be why it's in my head that way.
So it is possible that we could have our first match there, against the Cosmos down there at Hincliffe Stadium, and we could come back like on a Tuesday, which I think is St. Patrick's Day. And we don't know who our opponent is. We have to wait until January until the draw, but we do know who the people that are eligible for the Open Cup and that will be getting put into the hat for the draw. CD Filings, of course, being one of them. And another
Mhm.
one, of course, is Vermont Green, which I think most
Mhm.
everyone's
That's the
kind
one.
of crossing their fingers for that one. So it's possible we could be playing Vermont Green on St. Patrick's Day, and boy,
That would be awesome.
wouldn't that be fun?
I have already gone ahead and I have Googled who has the best Guinness pour in Burlington, Vermont. So if that does happen, I'm just saying it's gonna be a really good night. It's gonna be a real nice night.
Knock back 8 Guinnesses, put in 8
8
goals on
Guinnesses.
Vermont Green.
Go to the match, win, come back, drink 8 more Guinnesses. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. It'll be solid.
So we'll go ahead and kick things off on the festive side of things. I think probably always a good one to kind of throw out there, and everyone has always got their go-tos. Don't get me wrong, but maybe if we just kind of go around the horn a little bit, and everyone's in different stages in terms of family. I've got kids that are in college. Charles is kind of like right in the wheelhouse of having some young kids and family, and right in the heart of it all. Rob just kind of got married there, not even quite a year ago, and is in the very, very beginning stages of anything that he may possibly perceive of, having a family going forward, whatever that may look like.
As is dating.
Yeah.
I got my child right here, actually. He's hanging out. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, they're a lot cheaper. They're a lot cheaper.
I'm not so certain about that all the time, but yeah, okay.
They are getting more expensive all the time. I heard of such a thing as pet insurance is now a thing. So yeah, it's.
When my vet asked me that, and I don't know if they were just ahead of it, but it was a couple of years ago. She was like, "Do you have pet insurance?" And I was like, "What?" I grew up on a horse farm, so like we took care of our animals, but they're definitely animals, especially like barn cats and stuff. So I remember when my cat got sick, and she was like, "Do you have pet insurance?" And then I should have, because the ultrasound was like $1,000 for the cat,
right.
and I was like, I paid $250 for my ultrasound. I got a big fight.
I was gonna say my in-laws have a golden retriever, and that dog has that. Just that breed is expensive. Tons of issues.
Lots of
they
medical
probably
issues.
shell out $2,000 or $3,000 in medical bills every year for that dog.
It's fun.
So
fun.
We love them though; they're great.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Whatever you say, Rob.
So Charles, can you think of maybe a movie or two right off the top of your head, either both or something that you enjoy seeing, or it's basically more of like a family movie where you really get a buzz off the kids watching it and that sort of thing?
Oh, we're a movie household, dude.
Yeah.
I was raised like my family. We had a room that we called it the library, and I don't know if you wealthy people have libraries, but it was not a library. It was a room though full of VHS tapes and my dad's old National Geographic magazines. So we had like 1,000 National Geographics, and then we had like it felt like hundreds of VHS tapes. And anytime you'd spend all your time in there. It's like almost like Netflix now, where you're just browsing. You go into that room, you have a VHS tape in mind. Half of them were labeled, half of them weren't. Half of the labels had fallen off. You'd spend hours looking for a tape, but no, we're movie people, and to the fact where my kids still know what VHS is. You know what I mean? It's what
That's
I
a
think
good
a lot
thing.
of kids don't. So I think so. To answer your question, definitely for me, I'll start with me. I love Die Hard. Die Hard's a Christmas movie for me. It's just a great movie, but I do like watching it at Christmas, so that makes it a Christmas movie for me. And that's my Christmas Eve movie. So I usually have to wrap quite a lot of presents on
Yep.
Christmas Eve because I wait a lot till the last minute shopping and wrapping, and
Sure.
I'll almost always have Die Hard on. It's about 2 a.m. Christmas Eve. I'll be watching Die Hard. We love the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Mm.
We love some of the old claymation movies. I didn't watch a lot of those growing up, but the one I did watch was Rudolph, which is
Yep.
it cracks me up, and my kids like that too. There's one I'll throw out a deep cut here. I'd be amazed if you guys knew it, but it's an 80s movie. It's called Santa Claus the Movie, and Santa. It's a really if anybody wants to watch an 80s Santa, so 80s, and I couldn't name who was Santa. It was my favorite one as a kid, but Santa Claus the Movie, and it's got great reindeer. It's got a really interesting story about Santa coming and helping a poor kid in New York, and the effects are why it's what you would expect if like a full-on like almost like sci-fi fantastical 80s movie was also a Santa movie. So I highly recommend it. I would love to, if anybody can go find that movie. I'm sure you could stream it somewhere, but that I would love to see somebody else's reaction. Tell me I'm crazy. Go watch Santa Claus the Movie from the 80s and tell me if you agree with me or if I'm nuts. How about you, Rob? You a movie guy?
Yeah, I'm a big Christmas movie guy, at least in my family. So, us growing up, my brother and I, we would do either movies or we'd go like find our favorite TV shows and we would play the Christmas episodes. So like growing
Like The
up, like,
Simpsons and stuff?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'd play those on Christmas, and that's what we'd watch as we opened presents or played with our new gifts and whatnot. What's been interesting is that since I started dating my wife, I've spent Christmas mostly with her family.
Mhm.
And the thing
It's
that's
funny how that
fascinating,
works.
yeah, it's funny how that works. The thing that's interesting about them is they watch movies, but they're not always Christmas movies. A lot of action movies get
That's
played.
okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So it's different. Like last year on Christmas Eve, I'm watching like some Jackie Chan action movie, and then the funny thing is that I like Christmas movies, so I was like, all right, well, let's merge the two. Let's watch Die Hard. And so we put it on, and there's three men. There's my father-in-law, my brother-in-law, and I. And I'm the only guy who stayed up through the whole movie. Both of them fell asleep at like 7:30 at night watching Die Hard. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, guys, what are you doing, man? Like, like it's Die Hard. But yeah,
They'd seen it before though, right? Like you weren't introducing them to
no,
Die
I was
Hard.
not introducing it to
Okay,
them.
good.
No,
Okay,
no,
good.
no. But this year, I
Because you
think
might have to get divorced.
yeah, I think this year the action movie I'm gonna go for actually has a soccer theme. I don't know, have you guys ever seen the movie Escape to Victory, or just called Victory?
Is it about England?
No, so it's about World War II. So it's World
Oh
War
yes,
II.
yes. Pele's in it.
Yeah, it's got Sylvester Stallone. It's got Michael Caine. It's got Pele in it.
Yes.
It's about these prisoners that all make a soccer team.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. They all use it. They try to use it to escape the prisoner of war camp by playing the Germans in Paris at the end. It's you just kind of got to go along with the somewhat unrealistic plot. But what's funny about it is my father-in-law has been telling me for years to like go watch this movie.
Mhm.
And he's like always just been like, oh yeah, like, Pele's in it. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure. So I Googled it the other day. So I'm like, all right, we'll watch this during Christmas. And like, not only is like Pele in it, but it's got like, I'll give you the full list right here. It's got Bobby Moore, Osvaldo Ardiles, Paul Van Himst, Mike Summerby, Halvar Thornton, Werner Roth, like tons of other like famous historic football players.
Yeah.
And Pele. So it's I'm excited to kind of see it. I watched a couple clips of it, so that's my plan for the summer or the Christmas movie we can all get behind. It's not really a Christmas movie, but like I said, action movies for every reason work in that household. So we're gonna
I
all
love
agree
it.
to watch
I
that.
love it. That's a good shout, man. I really do like that movie, and I always like Michael Caine. I think he's
Michael
great.
Caine.
Michael Caine. I love him, and I forgot about that movie, dude. Yeah, with Pele.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Pele. I think it's just funny because I guess Pele did all like the soccer choreography for it.
hmm
And he had to like teach Sylvester Stallone how to play soccer because
Those are
Sylvester
behind the
Stallone.
scenes. That's behind the scenes footage I'd really like to see.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
right. Exactly. Right.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the title of that one was Victory, Rob?
That's Victory. Yep.
Victory.
Escape to Victory, I think.
Escape to Victory. Yeah,
Escape.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
My father-in-law calls it Victory. When I Google it, it's Escape to Victory. So I don't know.
There you go. Well, you'll
Wrote that
find it.
one. I wrote that one down, Rob. I'm definitely going to be looking that one up. That's a good one. Chaz, care to weigh in on any movies that kind of are close to you during the holidays, one way or the other? Anything
Oh
that
yeah.
you would like to throw out there on a family podcast?
Oh, family podcast, man. I guess I'll have two. I got one was always again probably not. We were always in action. Yeah, it sounds like we're all agreeing. It was always about action movies and stuff. One of my, I guess probably could be classified as an action movie was Slapshot. I was always a big fan of
That's a
Slapshot
good
during the
one.
winter.
Yeah.
It's a
Give him
family.
the foil.
Hmm?
Give him the foil.
Oh man, it's been a while since I've seen it. I need to probably. It's been about 5-10 years since I've seen it, but I know I'm gonna rewatch it this Christmas. That's why I'm saving for Christmas Eve, because I need to rewatch it. Because I was one of my other bosses. He was telling me about it and just giving me all the details about it. Again, not very family friendly, but I just remember the twins, and I'm like, man, I need to see this. It's been so long. I remember I would watch as a kid, but I remember just these little details that my boss would tell me. He's like, oh yeah, like the movies and the background that you would see and like the little like offshoots. You'll have to just watch it. I feel like there's no way to describe it. You just gotta see it to really understand the whole just ridiculousness of hockey back in like the 70s and 60s. But yeah, great little, especially if you're older, the things you see in the back, like when they're going through town when they win the championship, the movie that's on like premiering is like an old like basically like R-rated movie. And it's just funny to see that, and you're like, wait, isn't that like basically a porno movie? And it was like, again, totally different how times have changed. How you're like, yeah, me and the wife are gonna go see. It's called, I believe it's called like Watching Debbie or something like that. And it was like, oh man, what a time to be alive. But what I'm now really familiar with that I watch every year is the Christmas special of The Office.
It's really
That
good.
one is always,
good
and
one.
oh yeah. I always quote this. I'll find myself saying this all the time where it's when Michael is at the liquor store and he's talking to the clerk and he's like, I'm throwing a Christmas party. Do you think this is enough alcohol? And it zooms out and it's 15 bottles of Fleshman's. And then they look at each other and he's like, yeah, I think that'll do it. And he's like, all right, ring me up. And it's just the most ridiculous Christmas party in the office I've ever seen. But yeah, those are my two. Definitely not probably the most family oriented, but yeah, those are my two submissions.
Just inspired me to Google funniest Christmas porno movie titles. And I recommend everybody do that because these are hilarious. These are absolutely hilarious. I won't even go through one of them, but this is a good time. I'm not going to watch the movies. I'm looking at the titles. To be clear here.
You can always depend on Chaz and Charles on bringing the spin. So mine are pretty much going to be right in the main artery of Christmas here. Basically, pretty much you're down the middle, pretty much on most everyone's list, probably. Probably not too many outliers here, and for me, maybe the Christmas Chronicles there is probably a good one to go ahead and put up there on the screen on a night or two there. That is with let's see, I am horrible with actors. Kurt Russell plays Santa Claus in that one, and
those are the Kurt Russell Christmas movies. Yeah. I think there's 2 or 3 of them, right?
Yeah, he was a couple. Yeah. Anyways, And that's always a
Okay,
good one
awesome.
to go ahead and put up on the screen. The wife is close to Elf. She really likes Elf, and that's usually like the Christmas Eve one that she always wants to be sure she's watching there on Christmas Eve. Is Elf is usually on the screen in the household, and of course the Grinch. Grinch is always good for a rotation, no matter which one you choose to select. Whether it's Jim Carrey or the cartoon version or whatever you choose to put up on the screen. Um, pretty good movie to watch.
Did you guys see his DreamWorks, but it's like a modern animation version of the Grinch a couple years ago?
Yeah, I think I saw a trailer to what you're speaking to. Yes. Yeah.
My kids like that one too.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think there's a Christmas movie they don't like, to be fair. Like there's even I've seen them put on some really terrible like almost like teeny bopper girl Christmas movies. Some of those are horrible, and they're on Netflix and stuff like that. It's usually like a girl becomes a princess and also gets swept into the Christmas fantasy and all that stuff. And I'll even sit through some of those. I can't name any of those, but do you guys any classic Christmas movies, Sean? Like, what's your favorite classic Christmas movie? I feel like everybody's got theirs.
I,
It's a Wonderful Life or Miracle on 34th Street, White Christmas, some Bing Crosby, those type of things. Do you watch
I
any of those?
I guess if I had to try to grab a hold of one, I don't have a really solid answer for you, but I guess Scrooge. I think Scrooge qualifies.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd probably be my favorite classic Christmas movie is the Scrooge in terms of the old Charles Dickens and the whole black
Mm-hmm.
and white and that whole deal there. That'd probably be my favorite classic Christmas movie. Chaz?
Mine was again. I need to probably get back up on this one. I haven't seen it in a while, but again, another one I'm going to watch this year is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah,
I love a good Chevy Chase.
there
Love a
you
good.
go.
I just rewatched the Vegas. They wouldn't go to Vegas. Was that Road Trip? Road Trip to Vegas. But I think this year I'm going to do Slapshot and then National Lampoon Christmas Vacation.
That's a good one. We already watched it this year, and my kids. They're getting older now, so they hear more profanity. Like I let them watch more profanity stuff. But I think that was like the first F-bomb they ever heard was from that movie because I think I've watched it every Christmas with them since they were born. I love National Lampoons. That's a good shout out,
That's
Jazz.
always in the
That's a
rotation
really good
here at
one.
the house as well. Definitely, we already watched that
Mm-hmm.
this year. Yeah.
Yep, us as well.
Yeah, I think for me, there's a version of A Christmas Carol that was done in like 1999 with Patrick Stewart. I like that one
Yep.
a lot. Like so that I just think that's if you don't want to reread the book, that's like the one I think that captures the book the best. So I like watching that one. But I'll also give a shout out to A Muppets Christmas Carol.
That's my favorite.
That's
That's Michael Caine again. You're a Michael Caine fan.
The thing I love about Michael Caine in that movie is Michael Caine went into that movie and said, "All right, I'm obviously going to be on screen with Muppets. I'm just going to 100% act like they're an actual person and do a very serious Scrooge." And it's really fucking funny.
He's a great Scrooge, and he sings at the end.
Yeah, that's a little rough, but yeah.
I love that movie. I do. That's my favorite version. That one because it's
That's
funny.
two I've written. That's two I've written
and
down.
it's good as to watch as an adult. And it's Dickens. Dickens is tough to get through. I feel like you need the Muppets. The Muppets make Dickens better for me.
They help for sure.
So
I do like It's a Wonderful Life. Oh, sorry, Sean. I do like It's a Wonderful Life, but I also like I do like White Christmas. And then there was a Christmas movie I was watching. Oh, I can't remember what it was. But anyway, it was funny to me because we were watching this other movie. It was the Bing Crosby one like a couple years ago. And my oldest daughter, she actually loves classic movies. So that's why we watch White Christmas every year because it's her favorite. She likes Miracle on 34th Street. It's a Wonderful Life, but mostly those first two, especially White Christmas. And there's another one with Bing Crosby. And I'm watching it, and with my wife, we're watching as a whole family, and we're like, this is a classic Christmas movie. I think it's the movie that they wrote, I'm Dreaming of a White, for that movie, right? I think it's called White Christmas. Or did I just say that? Is that what
No,
I was
I think the
saying before?
movie has the same name as the song. I'm pretty sure you're right.
think
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I think you're right.
No. That White Christmas is the one we do watch. So it's very similar to White Christmas. It's Bing Crosby, but it's not Danny Kaye. Anyway, so it's not White Christmas. God, I wish I could remember the name of the movie. But halfway through the movie, everybody comes out in blackface. And then we were like, oh, this is why we never hear about this movie anymore. And this is why it's not a classic movie anymore. So, and I can't remember the title of it. And then I think we turned it off. But up until that point, it was actually a good Christmas movie. It went downhill fast. I have to look this right now. Carry on. I'm going to find out what this is.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and switch gears a little bit while Charles is doing a little bit of research, and I'm just gonna kind of throw out, this is just basically, it doesn't have to be holiday related. I want to throw that up front, right? But maybe just during the winter time frame, some things that you want to get out and do and see and experience with the family, without the family, whatever that may be. We can go off on a couple different facets here, but I'm going to keep it holiday centric for myself. Something we just went and did. It's been actually 4 or 5 years since we went and done it. It's a bit of a hiatus, and we went back and we revisited Sandy Hill Farms down in Elliott, Maine, and they put on a big light display down there, and they put on quite the show. And you can get yourself a time frame to show up, and of course you want to be at dark, of course. And you take a walk through at a leisurely stroll, and add in about 5 or 6 photo ops probably during your walk. You're probably going to get through the whole thing in about half hour, 40 minutes. And of course, they've got refreshments there for you to purchase if you so choose. But especially if you got little ones and stuff like that, I would certainly suggest. And if you're down in and around the Elliott area, down in southern Maine, York County, Cumberland County, anywhere in that neighborhood, it's probably something worth looking into. If you're kind of looking for, going out, seeing some lights and that sort of thing, and maybe lights in your local area, maybe not a whole lot to look at for one reason or another. Hey, take a ride down to Elliott, Maine, and organize yourself a time slot and have some fun with the kids. Or sometimes you see people there on date nights. They don't even have kids, and they're just walking through, and they got a little something to sip on, and they're just enjoying themselves. So. That's one of the things that we went and did, and of course, me myself, I like to get out and do a little ice fishing every once in a while. So whenever I can, I'll get out there and go out with the family and do a little bit of ice fishing there with my father, my brother, and so on and so forth, and whatever we're going after, whether it be just some warm water fish with crappie or bass, and whatever, just something to bend the pole type deal, or maybe a little bit, more time needed, a little bit more patience, and maybe going out after some lake trout and on Sebago, late in the winter, if we have cold enough weather and it actually freezes, we'll go out and do a little bit of that. But that's kind of what we got over on my side of the house. Charles, what you got?
Those are very main things to do. I like that expression, bending the pole, too.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that before. That's a good one. We're up in the mid-coast, so really close to the Gardens Aglow in Boothbay Harbor, which has become a big, big thing. I mean, they've done it for years, but it's huge now. So, and I think they do it they have a pretty wide window. Like I'm sure you could, well, it's still Christmas now, but it's a pretty wide window after Christmas is over too. And if you want to make the drive up or down, I always assume like a lot of people that listen are closer to Portland. So it'd be a drive up for you and then all the way back down the Boothbay Peninsula. But Boothbay's a lot of fun. It used to be like nothing in that town was open at Christmas time, but now you can still shop even in the winter. You can go to the Gardens Aglow. Just know that it's going to be packed. That's the only downside about it. But God, there's so many lights. I mean, every single tree. I mean, it's a botanical garden for anybody who doesn't know, year round. But they wrap every single. I don't know how they do it. Every single tree, every inch has a light on it. And some nights I think they do light shows. Have you guys ever been there to the Gardens Aglow?
No, that's on my to-do list.
It's
Yeah,
wild.
I was gonna go yesterday, and I couldn't. I naively thought I could buy tickets day of, and so my wife's been before though. She really likes it.
Yeah. It is fun. I remember I think it was COVID. Yeah, it would have been COVID. Obviously, it was drive-through. They made the whole thing so you could drive through, and I actually kind of liked that. But it's walk-through normally, and you can go pay $50 for a hot cocoa and some stale marshmallows. But otherwise, it's really, really good. The lights are really, really good. So that's good. I also just like doing a lot of the little town parades. I haven't been to the Camden one recently, but I liked the Camden one because they, at least the year I went, had all the snowplows. Like, everybody can't wait to put a snowplower on the truck in Maine. There was a parade of snowplows with all lit up with Christmas lights, and Santa came in on a giant, like huge monster truck with a snowplow on it, and he was waving and stuff. This was a couple years ago, so that was really fun. I mean, I just think that's super Maine. Like the small town parades, and Santa's usually always there. We also did another thing in Boothbay. We did 2 days ago. There's a Boothbay Railroad Village. It's a little tiny. It's all like the old cars and caboose and steam engine from Maine's railroad days. And so you go around, and I don't know, it's like a quarter mile, maybe if that. You go around twice, and then Santa hops on the old train and meets the kids and that type of thing. So that's what I got for you in the mid coast. Other than also get up to Acadia is a fun time of year to go up there as long as you can, as long as it's not terrible snow, which right now obviously it isn't. We talked about that, but it's fun because there's not a million people there, and so in the fall and then in the summer, those 2 seasons, it can be so crowded, and it can be really, really tranquil, and you can get a lot of those areas to yourself this time of year. So it's a great time. I personally have always wanted to go up to Sugarloaf and do some skiing, but I haven't been able to do that. I know people love doing that, and ski season's right around the corner. So, and Sugarloaf, you can go in the summertime too. I'm sure it's open as a resort, right? People like going up there and
Yeah,
doing
it's like
stuff in the
biking
summer.
and stuff. Yeah, like
Yeah,
mountain
that
biking.
makes
The
sense.
hiking trails they do in the summer up there. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you really want to get wild, get a boat to take you out to Monhegan Island, because it's lobstering season out there. They lobster in the winter, and they're famous for that. And the storms are crazy and wild, and it's a lot of fun. I know everybody. I couldn't recommend Monhegan enough in the summertime. It's my favorite place in Maine still. I feel like my dream is to retire there someday. Probably won't happen, but anyway. But it's really cool in the winter, and I don't think the Port Clyde Ferry or the New Harbor or the Boothbay boat take you out in the wintertime. So that's the hard part. I think you have to find somebody to get you out there.
I think it's the Port Clyde boat goes out once or twice a week, I think.
It does. Okay, there you go. Then that's a really nice ride, actually. That's my favorite one out of all three. I've always had the smoothest ride there, even on like 4-foot seas and stuff, for whatever reason. I don't know if it's like the ferry, because I think they put it's a bigger ferry out of Port Clyde, so you get 1 or 2 cars. But man, that is a really awesome thing to do in the wintertime if you're trying to do something different other than just see Christmas lights. So that was probably too much, but that's what I got.
No, that's fine. Rob?
Yeah, I mean, I think what my wife and I usually do, and we didn't do it this year for some reason, is we love to see the parade of boats in Portland. So if you've never been, a bunch of boats from all different things, from the tugboats to the ferries to the lobster boats, they all cover themselves in Christmas lights, and there's an organized parade up and down both the South Portland side and the Portland side of the harbor. And it's just a really fun thing to go watch. I've seen it both from Fort Allen Park, which gives you this awesome view, but then also you can go to like a bar or a restaurant that's on one of the piers and watch it from there. I watched it last year from the porthole, and it was just a really fun, cool experience. So that's always a lot of fun. In terms of winter activities, I like getting up to Pineland Farms in New Gloucester. Whenever it does snow, if we get it for a long enough period of time, they do cross-country skiing up there, and what I've discovered is that is a very accessible thing to do if you've never learned how to ski. Like, I never really learned how to do downhill. It's kind of cheap to go learn cross-country, so I kind of got into that last winter. They do snowshoeing, though, too, and tons of other sort of Nordic activities outside. And they got tons of trails everywhere. They got a really cool property up there, so that's a really great thing to kind of go check out if you're really into doing outdoor activities. If you're not, which sometimes I'm not, I will say that the winter, in my opinion, is the best time to go into Portland, because you don't have the crazy number of tourists in the old port, so you kind of get a little bit of the run of the place. You can go to just about any restaurant in town, and it's not that busy. Like, I went to Mr. Tuna a few weeks ago. Like all those fancy places that during the summer have like weeks and week-long wait lists, you can kind of get into it a little bit easier. So those are kind of my 2 winter activities I go for.
Yeah, and to your point, Robert, with the snowshoeing, that was something I was also going to bring up. And if people are just kind of looking to kind of get out and just getting out into the woods a little bit after a snowstorm, and that's a great way of doing it. Bring a camera with you too, because you're going to see some great scenes out there on new snow, out there in the woods. Your usual, basically where you would go would be like your normal like hiking trails, or something along those lines. You don't want anything too aggressive in terms of elevation or anything, but somewhat flat, and just go out there and pack it down with your snowshoes and from what I'm told, the cross country skiers really love seeing snowshoers out there to pack it all down for them, and really it helps out the cross country skiers. So you're kind of going out there and kind of doing two or three things at the same time. You're getting to experience the winter time and getting a great photo op, and hey, you're helping out some cross country skiers. Kind of break trail and packing it all down so they can enjoy themselves when they come out as well. So, Chaz, what do you like to do during the winter time?
I mean, I think you guys covered most of the basic stuff. This year and the next year, I'm trying to push to see more of Maine. To kind of finish out the summer, finally went out to Lubec. I had to someone had to give me some like ridiculous task to like go out there for some reason because kind of got to find a reason to go out to Lubec. So I went out there for Monica's Chocolates in the summer, and I was like, man, I got to just explore Maine more. So I was actually with my barber, and he's up from Fort Kent, and he's like, oh yeah, this cool thing that happens in Fort Kent. It happens in February. Is the Can-Am dog sledding racing. It's like one of the most challenging dog sledding races in Eastern America. They do like a 30-mile, 100-mile, and like a 250-mile dog sledding race. And I was like, see, this is the type of ridiculous I need to like go up to Fort Kent. Because again,
Yeah,
you don't
that
really
sounds
just
cool.
go up there for no. I have no business being up there. I don't know anyone, so that's one of the things I'm like, you know what? I would definitely pack in to just go see dog sledding, and that just seems ridiculous. Just to get out and be up there. It is in the middle of February. I think it's like February like 28th or something like that. But if you ever want to see something ridiculous and need to go to Fort Kent for a reason, that's going to be one of my reasons. So that's on the list. Um, Another thing was maybe not really Maine related, but it's up in Montreal, or no, Quebec City is their winter festival. It's kind of a weird take on their Christmas festival because they don't have Santa. They have a guy named Fanuff who basically is
Enough?
just like Fanuff, and it's like he basically looks like the Michelin Man, but cuter.
Really? Oh,
And it happens. It's like basically like they have like ice castles and they have all these like cool like winter events, and that happens also in February. You kind of got to plan a couple months ahead of it. But I was like, that would be a good reason to go up, get out, and go north, and try and go see more parts of New England and the Northeast is so yeah, dog sledding, and then hopefully next year we'll probably try and get up there for like a French Canadian Christmas or whatever they want to call it, winter festival.
Mm-hmm.
Those are kind of two things I've kind of had on my bucket list, just to kind of again get out and really make sure I explore my surroundings as much as possible.
super fun. That's a good idea. I'll also throw out like Boxing Day EPL. I mean, I love watching footy over Christmas. So I really look forward to the day after. If you're lucky enough to not have to work the day after Christmas, so always usually some really really good games on. I'm not sure what the schedule is this year, but love doing that. Especially usually my dad's in town, and we'll try and watch Liverpool games, or maybe I can get together with Chaz this year and just hate on Everton a little bit.
You're gonna love my next sculpture for when we play again in April. It's gonna be beautiful.
I can't wait. Better not be a cake again.
This cake will be edible. It'll be edible this time. But I mean, depending on where we finish, I hope once Everton finishes above Liverpool this year, you probably can't have kids around this sculpture. This is probably not going to be a PG sculpture.
So that's probably a good pivot to kind of maybe touch upon a little bit of heart stuff. So kind of transition out of some of the holiday possibilities and experiences that we all do in our lives here, and maybe touch upon a little bit of the heart. So Rob and I and Chaz, and I don't think Charles got a chance to participate too much in terms of bringing the talking about some of the player signings and stuff that we had, and we kind of finished out our roster for the 2026 and possibility of players to go grab and so on and so forth. But let's just talk a little bit about the players that have come in and what we have so far. Rob and I have kind of already given our takes on Scarlett coming in, and the return of Walter Varela, and I think we all pretty much had a chop at Breck Evans, if memory serves me correct. But we might possibly hear another signing before the month is out. The possibility is there if the Hearts so choose. But we're probably going to see the lion's share here in the next couple of months in front of us. January and February is where everything is really going to get stacked up, and we're going to learn about what this Hearts of Pine team is going to look like going into the 2026 season. But anything to really speak to, Charles and Chaz? We'll have Charles go ahead and go first. And anything really to speak to with the players that have come in, something that you wanted to make sure you got out there, or maybe even where you would hope Bobby Murphy would kind of angle himself going forward, and what the signings could be coming forward.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed the podcast you guys did. We talked about Breck Evans, but I'm excited about it's Zion Scarlett, right? He's but he's really an attacking player, attacking minded player. So I'm very curious. And that's fun. I think to be as a winger, and then or he said he was a winger, or they announced him as a defender, vice versa. But either way, yeah. So I'm intrigued by him. Also, what am I excited about? I'm very excited to see what we do up top. So I think a lot of people are really looking forward to what we look like in the final attacking third. And just want to also throw a shout out to Mr. Vinberg, who I think it was yesterday put out kind of a farewell post. Thank you, Maine, for the last 11 months. Because I'm still hurt, but I'm still sore. I'm still sore to see Sean go. He's just another player and that's another why I'm really curious what we do, because he was such a performer for me that I thought we'd get another season with Sean, and we don't know the details. We don't know. You did offer him, and maybe he's got something else going on. But just loved him, and sad to see him go. But most excited about what we've got lined up attacking wise, and that's what I'm looking forward to when those announced.
Chaz, thoughts on the?
Chaz?
Yep.
Oh, thoughts on the? Yeah, I guess I haven't really spoke on. I guess Walter. I was fine with Walter. I'm glad Walter came back. I think I thought I was gonna be more. We were gonna get Liotti back over Walter, but I think
another point for me, by the way. I was the only one that said Walter was coming back.
Yeah. So there's that. I mean, we'll see how he plays out, but yeah, I like Scarlett. I like that he's going to be a versatile player. I don't think he'll be as a defender. It's hard for me to see him be used as a defender, but hey, who knows? Maybe as backup to like Nathan or who is on our right, or whoever is on our right side this year. But I don't know. I mean, I think he's going to be great. I hope he makes it so that it unlocks. Again, kind of going back to hopefully unlocks Wada to be more of an attacking player. I would like to see him be more forward, but yeah, I would like to see who are big. I mean, I don't really know what. I guess maybe I'm not as excited as I thought for the attacking, the final third, because I think we have a good guy, Titus, and then Walter, and then whoever we bring in. I'm more excited to see who's in the midfield, because there's so many spots we have left. We probably would need at least 3-4 signings in the midfield, I would believe.
I would say we're probably looking at least 3, Chaz.
Yeah, so I think that's where I'm more excited for, to see who comes into the midfield to figure out, can we push Ollie up more? Can we push Watt up further? I would like to see MPA kind of become more of if we're not going to get Natty back, MPA has a hell of a shot. We never really talked about that. His 2 shots on goal were pretty spectacular. Did they go in? No, but I don't know.
They were also from distance. I think that's why. I'd love to see him. To agree with you, Chad, I'd love to see him shoot more.
Yeah, I would love to see it. So I mean, I think I'm probably more excited to see who the upcoming midfielders are, and then there's got to be one big fish. I know Breck Evans was a big signing, but I feel like there's going to be a really big,
I agree.
Or there's going to be something. I just don't know. Hopefully it's not at center back. As great having a center back would be, that's not too exciting. Come on.
It is interesting though. We see a lot of teams seem to be scaling down. They're getting smaller guys, they're getting younger guys. Hearts seem to be the only ones going out there and signing bigger names right now.
Yeah. So, we'll see. I mean, I just have no clue. I remember doing this last time. I had this conversation with Bobby at Allagash, and he's like, "Who do you think?" And I'm like, I just have no clue where he could be. He could be looking in the most ridiculous places, and you just have no clue. So it's hard to really say. I was even shocked about Breck, because I was like, I wouldn't be shocked if he just pulls a few random people. I don't know. Like I'm also still want to see us get like I want a similar guy to like Mikey Riley as well. I'm really sad Mikey Riley's not coming back.
Yeah.
I think he would have been, or Mickey Riley. I think it would have been cool to have him be around a little longer because I think he's going to have a good pro career. I hope
Or
it
he's
does not.
going yet, do we, Mickey?
No,
We don't have any.
you don't
We
know.
know he's not Hearts, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's probably going back Midwest, which
Right.
that'll be kind of tough. But hopefully that's one player that's not a Hearts player as of right now that I'm very excited and hopefully see more of. And I hope we kind of get somewhere again, like a D3 or a D2 player that, can hopefully turn into something special.
Yeah, so
Second that.
I certainly agree that we're probably going to see at least one more, what we would consider a real big signing. Keep in mind, the MLS players that are going to be drafted and the ones that are more importantly not drafted is going to be kind of more apparent here as we start flowing into January and February. So maybe those are the months that we see something in terms of a big signing. Maybe it is up front. Maybe it's right center back, and maybe if we do have Sega coming in, maybe Sega's going to be kind of like backfilling a little bit. We'll have to wait and see how that looks. We'll have to wait and see how that looks. Certainly, a lot of different directions head coach Bobby Murphy can go, and all we can do is speculate and watch like everybody else.
Off a little other side note, I forgot. I think I was talking to Don about it because I know we're supposed to I know the home kits are staying, but I am very curious to see the direction they're going to go with the new away kits because I've heard that the away kit's going to be the one that gets redesigned.
Okay.
So I wonder when we'll have. I guess I don't know if we have to talk about it now, but I'm kind of curious to see what direction they go because I'm assuming it's going to be the same idea with probably a lot of hearts on it. I just don't know where they could go with it. So I'm excited to see what that redesign will be because that. For how basic it was good, but where do they go from there? So I'm excited to see what $130 I'm going to lose next month to the New Jersey.
That's a good shout. I'm interested as well, and I feel like I don't know about you guys. I really love the Bandit kit, and I think it's a really novel, very unique kit. Not a lot of clubs have polka dot hearts, and I guess what do we say? There's never been a camo kit, so that's about as unique as you can get in professional soccer. So, and they said obviously that one's only been around for a little bit. So yeah, you're right. Woods and Water, the camo kit, they'll be around. I guess that means we'll have our first retired kit with the Bandit one. It'll be very interesting. I agree, Chaz, to see how they riff on that idea because I'm sure the idea will be the same. I don't think anybody here think they're not going to stick with the Bandit idea, the Hearts idea for the new away kit?
I can see it coming back. I would like to see it. I don't know if I want it again. I don't know if I want all the same jerseys next year. I think we'll need at least one new one, but
that's the one I mean.
Yeah, that one. But I think that will come back. I would be very shocked if we don't have a redesigned version of the Bandit kit come back in years forward. I mean, I don't know. What I would be excited for, I don't know how controversial it would be, but if it was like a Broken Heart, like a Heartbreaker kit, some sort of like all pink or like almost like white pinkish with a broken heart, that would be kind of
fuck out of here.
Hey, that'd be kind of
broken heart pink kit.
Like a powder, it still has to be mostly white, like a heart, like a baby pink, this very finest shade of like a rose kind of color.
The rose kit. The rose.
Yeah.
Broken hearts past.
I might want to see it first. I don't know. I see. My problem is that if we get a pink kit, I can't, make fun of Madison anymore for their pink kits.
No, I'm not saying it has to be the away kit. So it has to be like just all white, but just the ever slightest shade of just pink. Like you have to really be up close to it, like a very, like almost like rose kind of color, just very tint of pink.
The other thing is,
yes, that's not happening.
As we get closer,
love it, Chaz, love it.
As we get closer and closer to putting a women's team on the field, how that could play into a possible kit selection for both the men and the women if they are going to have all the same similar kits. that could have a play on maybe what the men put on going forward. Or the kits are completely 100% separate. This is the women's version. This is the men's version, and such is such. But I'm just kind of going off, over across the pond with Liverpool and Chelsea and all those guys with their men's team and their women's team.
Same
From
kits.
what I have observed, they look identical to me.
I think it would be. I think. I mean, I remember we were having this conversation about Spokane. They said with their supporters group, or it was in their podcast. They said they felt a little overworked. I'd be scared if the Hearts completely broke the women's off, because then it's like our marketing team does good, but like that
Yeah.
might be a lot to be like, hey, we need a whole new rebrand. And why? And Hearts it's unisex, so I
Yeah.
would see it.
Yeah.
It would be ridiculous, I think, to break it off.
I think they'll do it if they do some market research and it tells them they're gonna make more money. I think that's what it comes down to. They're gonna decide, can they make more money selling kits that have a different name on it, and I mean they're a business, much as sometimes that hurts.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point, Rob, because like I'm amazed that we have heard the rumors that it's only going to be one new kit, that the Woods and Waters will. Now I don't know if that means for the whole season. I almost feel like they will create as many kits as they can, because look, they sell out. Well, not sell out, but
they sold what, 2 training kits this season?
exactly. We'll know we'll get more of those. But like, it feels like you're leaving money on the table to almost not release new kits every season for a club like the Hearts. Now, obviously, that's not the case for all the teams in this league, right? And I don't expect the Hearts to, totally retire kits every year and release 3 new ones, 4 new ones, whatever it is. But it probably would work for them. And we'd all buy them, and we're suckers, and they're great. And and if it came down between dinner and a Hearts kit, I think most of us would pick a Hearts kit. So we're lucky.
Yeah, but I mean, at what point because it would be a bad look to release a bunch of stuff and then just have a bunch of fluff. Be like, oh man, the next 4
Oh
kits
yeah,
suck. I think that would be I think it would be better to, again, maybe tweak some, but never like release a whole new set and then be like, yeah, we want, especially at the price point. It's hard to be like, hey, yeah, here's 3 new kits for $130.
no doubt whatever they do, they'll knock it out of the park. That's another thing. Like, I mean, I think at this point we just expect the marketing to just be incredible. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of people I run into, and they start to hear about the Hearts, and I hear a lot of that all the time. Like, God, their marketing is just incredible. And then the people that watch the soccer also, they talk about the soccer, but everybody still is blown away by the marketing work. I mean, it really is amazing. So I think I'm really excited to see what they do in season 2. To see what that new Bandit kit or away kit or whatever it is, what that looks like. As long as it's not rose pink, that won't be good for me. Sorry, Chaz, but let it go.
Hey, I know Lawrence is going to have a great time, so we'll see. We'll see what he cooks up.
So as we start, learning a little bit more about what the schedule is, and we've already started talking about putting some early plans together for traveling down to Hinchcliffe Stadium to watch the Cosmos. And here we are just talking about kits. Cosmos released their home kit, which is basically all green with white lettering. It looks pretty straightforward based upon what the Cosmos used to have for home kits. And of course, you cannot talk about the Cosmos and kits unless you want to talk a little bit about the legendary Pele, already previously talked about in a movie reference earlier in this podcast, that basically finished out his career, was actually retired, and was coached back out of retirement to come to America and bushwhack the way through an early soccer foundation of fans here in the United States. And he spent from 1975 to 1977 on the eastern border of the United States in New York, playing for the Cosmos. And the whole joke is, geez, all right, when we're in March and down at Hinchcliffe Stadium, I wonder how many Pele jerseys we're going to see from someone that hadn't played for that club for some 50 years or so. it's always nice to kind of have some throwback jerseys. Don't get me wrong, but for something to that nature, in my opinion, leave them up on the wall in the house because that's kind of where they belong. Thoughts on that,
Yeah.
Rob?
Yeah, I mean, so I think it's interesting bringing up the Cosmos. I don't know if you guys also saw this post the other day, but AV Alta's kind of fan newspaper, their version of the Blazing Musket, called the Tumbleweed Times, they released a an article with prospective rivalries they think may develop this season. And very interestingly, they said that Portland Hearts of Pine and the New York Cosmos are ripe to become rival teams, purely because we have brands that are slightly antitheses of each other. We've obviously got a very Maine-centered culture here. Cosmos have a legacy, but they also haven't played in I don't even know, is it 7 or 8 years?
Yeah,
And before
mid-teens.
then, they didn't play for what, 30? So I think it's interesting. The Cosmos, they haven't really signed anyone crazy yet to their roster. I think they've signed 6 or 7 people. Most of them have been local products out of New Jersey. No names that really I think we would be familiar with.
Spangler.
Um,
Spangler would be the one I'd
Oh,
offer up
Spangler, you're
to.
right. I'm sorry. You're
Yeah.
right. Spangler did get signed down there. So, I think it'll be really interesting to see what happens. I'm going to go down to New Jersey, I think, to see their first match. But I'll echo what you said, Sean, in the USL One Discord yesterday. You said that Pele played 50 years ago and they're still making money off this guy. So,
Yeah.
that's my comment. I think the Cosmos are coming in this league. They have to prove that they aren't just Pele's team still. They can't keep living off of that legacy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I hope they do really well. I hope that they're a really vibrantly supported franchise. I think they probably will be because they got a ton of fans from all over the place. I mean, if you ask the average American to name a soccer team and that American is of a certain age, the team they're going to name is the New York Cosmos. So,
Well, to your point on hoping they have a big following, you can't tell by the amount of tickets that are available for that matchup. So tickets are on sale. If you go and take a look for that matchup, there are lots of tickets available. So that tells me one of two things. Either they got a nice little snafu down there in New York Cosmos in terms of forgetting to block out those tickets for their season ticket holders, or they don't have that many season ticket holders. And we could have the run of the place down there in March, which would be fun. I'll take that. Charles?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I don't have much to add on it. I think I like the kits have a little bit of subtle striping, so there actually are stripes. It's not just a solid green, which I think that's cool. But I'm not a big fan of the kits. Didn't love the old ones either, but I do understand that there's heritage there, and so but I don't think they compare to what what we've got going on, and also to what some of the nicer kits in the league have going on. And ultimately, whatever. But I think it's good for the league for them to come back. I'm excited to. Another thing I'm intrigued by to see what happens with the Cosmos and USL One. It's an interesting story, and they have that heritage that what other club in USL has that, really?
Right. Yeah,
Like,
and you know, and
I don't really know.
this is one of those away day type deals where we're going to go down the very first matchup for USL League One. We're going to have an away down Hincliffe Stadium in New Jersey to play the Cosmos, and then later on in the year, I think it's midsummer time frame. I don't have the date right off the top of my head, but we're going to go down to Brooklyn, and we're gonna play the Brooklyn team, and that's going to be a nice away day as well. And Chaz, any thoughts on basically some of these new away days that we're going to be experiencing, both down there playing the Cosmos and Brooklyn, and hey, let's also mention Rhode Island is coming up to see us this summer. So thoughts, Chaz, on that?
Yeah, I first with the kits, I thought they were good. I think they amazing? No, but I think it's better to be the more basic was better. Comparing it to like AC Boise, I think
Hmm.
AZ Boise they missed the mark a little bit. They could have gone plain and it would have looked great. So I think if out of the new kits, I think definitely Cosmos took it in terms of what's been released so far. Because there's no need to mess up what's worked. At least what worked 50 years ago. But going on down to the stadium, yeah, I mean, I think Hinchcliffe's a beautiful stadium. Hopefully, it looks as beautiful as it does in person. I think I'm more excited to really just see the stadium itself, especially if it's renovations. If you've seen pictures of it from like 10, 15 years ago, it was a dump. It definitely was a sad sight to see. But now it looks good. So I'm excited for us to get down there and hopefully run the place. Because I mean, it also depends on how we're going to get down. I don't know if it's going to be a bus or I've seen the tickets for flying to Newark. Not too bad. That might be the move. Is just fly down. That'll be kind of a fun way to do it because it's a quick flight from Portland. But yeah, I mean that's going to be beautiful. I know I was in the chat in the Discord talking about Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn they might have one of the most interesting stadiums, at least in USL One, with the Coney Island in the background. I mean, I think Pittsburgh Riverhounds they might have one of the best backdrops, but
Definitely.
Brooklyn could definitely take that crown with just the amusement park in the background. I just think it almost seems like a video game, just how ridiculous some of these backgrounds are becoming. But
It's
I
like,
think
do you guys ever play like any of the backyard sports games?
oh yeah
It does start to feel like that when you start playing in like amusement parks and whatnot. Not that I'm
yeah
against it, I just think it's funny.
yeah. But I am very happy that especially with the I think I think personally we have one of the best. Gosh, I'm gonna keep calling it the Jägermeister Cup. I hate the new cup name, Prince Tires. I can't even pronounce it. Prince Tires.
Yeah.
You can't drink a tire.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh. But
That's a
I think
huge
I think
downgrade.
we
This is
have.
the first I'm hearing of this. I didn't know there was a new name. I knew that Jägermeister wasn't coming back, but I
Yeah.
didn't know there was a new name. What a downgrade. So we don't have the Jaeger bomb anymore.
I know. I
That's a
think
bummer.
it's probably gonna stick. I don't think anyone's gonna call it the Prince Tire Cup. But I think personally our grouping is the best with in terms of the overall like scenes. I mean, pop best atmosphere. Brooklyn has that cool backdrop. Hinchcliffe with the heritage. Um, I mean, I think we have and then we have Rhode Island again, beautiful new stadium. Like I think we actually have like one of the best and most diverse groups of stadiums in our group, at least for the Cup. So I'm excited because it's also we could definitely get to all those games. I know going to Detroit was hard, going to Pittsburgh was probably hard last year, but I think this year we're gonna have more people showing up. I wouldn't be shocked if we set the record for most away fans showing up. We'll have to get a tally on that. I could see us getting like 2, 3, 400 people to some of these games, which I think is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I
And then
think we
especially when sorry.
go ahead, Chess. Finish it
Oh
up.
yeah, finishing up just with Rhode Island. I think Rhode Island's going to be fun. We had only had Rhode Island up at Lewiston, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
We traveled to
getting
Rhode
them their
Island as
own.
well, in last what was called the Jägermeister Cup last year. We actually traveled down to Rhode Island, and that's where we
Right.
kind of ended our Jägermeister run down there in the group stage. That was
Yeah.
like our last game, basically, or second to last game.
It was
Yeah,
mostly
I think
competitive.
I think having them come up and getting the Rhode Island guys, they know how to do an atmosphere. I think having them actually, I hope we get them a couple hundred seats. I'd be really ashamed if we can only get them like 50 or 70. They're going to travel good, and I think that might be one of the best atmospheres in the league.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game, Chaz, when the Rhode Island boys come on up and visit us at Fitzpatrick Stadium. I'm really going to be interested in to see how Fitzpatrick sounds with away fans that we know Rhode Island can bring, and the back and forth between a proper back and forth between the Dirigo Union and the Rhode Island FC fans and stuff, and that's going to be really fun. I really hope that Gabe Hoffman Johnson and the Hearts of Pine staff allow those guys to bring in what they need to bring in to make it a nice back and forth in terms of some amount of instruments. I can understand maybe if they want to restrict a certain amount of drums and maybe bass drums and so on and so forth. But let's let them have some instruments and let's let them come in and make a proper soccer atmosphere and back and forth with the Dirigo Union because um, that really sets a place off. And then you put a game in front of them and the back and forth and the play between the fans and the game that's actually on the pitch. That's one of those magical things that you just cannot recreate in any other sporting atmosphere. And it'd be a shame to not have that now when they come up and see us. So I look forward to that. Hopefully, we can make that happen in the best of possibilities. And I think that's going to be one of those big magical nights at the end of 2026 that we're going to point back and talk about. So I think one of the things that I just wanted to touch upon, and unfortunately, I do not have a lot of the stuff that we have done as a supporters group down here in front of me. But one of the latest things that we did do is we were had that Bino tournament and raised a bunch of money for the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital, and that is certainly one of the community events that the Dirigo Union is constantly doubling back on and trying to generate more and more money for the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital, and we have many more of those money drives for a lot of supporter groups in and around the area, a lot of community events that I just simply do not have written down. I wanted to touch upon quite a few of them. Rob, do you have anything other than Barbara Bush Children's Hospital written down there in front of you, or off the top of the head, or Chaz, or Charles, or anyone at all that we can kind of make light of?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's kind of been the big thing that's been going on this month. I think going into next month, obviously we have the board election coming up and our business meeting, our annual chili cook-off, and then it's just going to kind of be starting to get ready for the new season. So kind of slow right now, but looking forward towards the new year.
Get through the holidays.
Yeah. I mean, I think we definitely had a few just where we joined along. I remember we had a couple of the drives that we definitely did earlier in the season. I would have to, definitely go back to figure out the foundations. We'll probably have to maybe put a foundation list that we've probably got together. That's probably a good point. We probably should put like a list of foundations we've hit upon. And I know we have a group chat or a Discord chat in regards of like donate like foundations we want to go to.
Yeah,
I thought
we
we
have a
did.
we have a channel for like community events and organizations, kind of putting everything all together. But I would like to see like a list of like places where you can go to donate, like on a Dirigo Union Discord, Dirigo Union homepage on the internet. I'd like to see us do something like that, and certainly, Barbara Bush Children's Hospital, the link that we had when we were raising money through the Bino tournament and the video games and stuff, the watch alongs and all that sort of stuff. That'd be a great place to kind of put some of that stuff and where that stuff can kind of live. And people can actually just go right on the website and click on the link and donate. I think that'd be a great thing to have.
Yeah, because I also know Seabass. He did his own private with his
Yep.
streaming too. He had a couple.
Yep.
So yeah, we probably should maybe. We'll have to maybe reach out to Justine or someone. I think that's kind of more Justine's world to figure out that list of what we've done so far and how to expand upon that. But I would imagine we're going to probably double what we did this year next year.
Yeah, this is our first year kind of getting things organized and running as a supporters group. Everyone's got to remember this is year one for us. So we're still shaking out some of the cobwebs going forward. We certainly have enjoyed some success this year. We're certainly proud of that. A lot of hard work went into it. But we will continue to get organized, and certainly when it comes to the supporter side of things, in terms of the community fundraising for things like the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital and different variations of that going forward. We'll get a little bit more organized where we can actually put up a link where people can go up and donate for the Dirigo Union and really help some of these organizations that do so much for our community. It's kind of our part of helping them in return. I think that's the least we can do. So, boys, anything else before we go ahead and get out?
I don't think so. pretty sure I'm gonna go watch Hans Gruber fall off the Nakatomi Plaza. I don't know what you guys are gonna do, but I encourage you all to do the same and have a lovely, lovely holiday and enjoy your families if you can.
All right, so
Dude,
go ahead, Chaz.
I was gonna say, so I know we're kind of finishing. This is gonna be probably the last podcast of the year for this.
Yeah.
So I guess it's probably just gonna be the next one's probably gonna be what, just getting back into the swing of things here. I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah, so we come
New
back.
We're
signings.
going to be kicking off, talking about maybe the schedule once we get those U.S. Open Cup games, and then just
Yep.
sitting down, talking about the new teams that are joining the league, and getting ready for kickoff.
Getting back into the
Well-
store. I know the podcast is going to get back into the Heart store, so we'll be doing some more on-location stuff preseason like we did last year. That was really fun being there while people are shopping. I'm super excited that the store is still around. There's no sign that that's not going to be the case forever,
Yeah,
really.
The pop-up shop that is no.
Yeah, the pop-up shop is staying popped up. It's got a good foundation under it. Absolutely. I'm excited to get back there. And man, I can't believe it's been it'll be the last podcast of the year. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, Chaz. Unless you want to get on here and do it again.
I think
okay.
we might have to we'll be busy. I'm gonna be in your DMs Boxing Day, brother. Don't you worry.
I look forward to my Chaz messages. They're not always family friendly, but they're great. I like them very much so. So, Chaz, why do you support Everton?
Because I'm just a great guy, and a great guy needs a great club to support. That's why. But wait, were you serious? You want the real answer, or you want me to just shit talk you for 15 minutes?
I want the real answer, but I want the 15-second version.
It was really it's the pretty stereotypical. I love the color blue. All my life it's always been blue.
You picked
So-
your team based on the jersey color?
No, well, I liked blue, hated the other colors, and I just one day shuffled through FIFA and picked Everton, and I was like, "Yep, this is it. I'm dedicated. I'm not going back. Damn it."
Well, that is dedication, especially when you found out how shit they were. That you were like, nope, I like blue a lot. I really like blue. Even though this team sucks, I really like blue. So good for you, buddy.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
You are so fun to give shit to, and I hope you know it comes from. It's supposed to come from a good place.
Oh, I know. I'm happy that everyone loves my terror because
I'll tell you what, you look good this year, though. I like Everton this year. I mean, they're fun to watch. They really are. And I actually think they're more fun to watch than Liverpool. Like, and I've said, say what you want about Arne Slot and winning the league and all that stuff, but I haven't actually. I'm thrilled we won the league, but I haven't loved watching our football since Klopp left. And obviously, some things have caught up with us. And I think Everton plays well. Fun to watch.
I appreciate it. Well, it's,
Villa's really fun to watch,
I know
too.
that team's going to change in about the next 60 days. We're going to be pretty rough. But hey, Ekitike looks good. Ekitike looks real good.
No, he does look great. He's one of the bright spots for Liverpool this season. There's no question about that. Looks like Isaac has pretty much broken his leg in two. We'll find out what happens soon about that. But yeah, that's always, like I said, I enjoy the festive period and all that. And where's Everton sitting in the table right now?
We're sitting like ninth.
Yeah, enjoy it. That's where you belong. So
yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. You know what, Sean? Get us out of here. This is not we can save this conversation for another time.
So I said happy holidays. You just had to put Everton in there. You just had to do it.
So from all of us here at the podcast and the Dirigo Union, we say we'll see you next year in 2026. And of course, for the last time in 2025, we say up the Hearts.
Up the Hearts.
Of the Hearts.